Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got three awesome guests: the writer and director and creator of a television series on Here Television, and it's called Single Out, and it has three seasons. The third season is currently out now, and the fourth season coming up is the final season of the series. And I'm really looking forward to talking to my three guests: the writer, creator, Lee Galea. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. Adam Mountain, who plays Josh, and Jake Hyde, who plays Gabe. And they're both the boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, and future boyfriends of the lead character Adam, played by Will. And I'm really looking forward to talking to these three guys. And Single Out is an amazing, amazing series. I love watching it. I watch it twice now. Like all three seasons. The episodes are short. You could binge watch it within like a couple days. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing show. So I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview with the Single Out crew will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, my Gruelings. Welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned.
Adam, you want to prop up a bit more forward
Yeah.
to your life?
Trying. I got to be in bed because I got my hand fractured, so I've got to I've got to leave it up. So I was trying to prop everything up as much as I can without it being on camera.
Oh, okay.
Skating accident?
Yeah, skating accident.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Could have pictured
thought
it.
so.
How's it going? Is it healing?
It's on its way. It's on its way. I've got a couple more weeks in the brace, and if it doesn't heal properly by then I've got a bit of hand surgery. But we'll cross that road when we come to it.
Damn. Okay. So you're a skateboarder then?
Yeah, yeah. I love a good bit of skateboarding. Been
Oh, that's
skateboarding for
awesome.
a few years now, and Lee put that in season one as well. We had a good
Yeah,
bit of
yeah,
skate
yeah.
there.
Exactly.
Just a cameo.
Yeah, just a little one.
Nice. So I guess I want to start off with Lee. Like, what inspired you to write and make this amazing show?
I think it was, being in lockdown, being bored, um, and I've told this story 100 times, but I was casting for a film I was making, and I, we were looking for like some young teens to be rude to someone, and I just ended up with this list of guys, and I was just like, maybe I can make an ensemble, and so it's like a TV series which I'd never thought to do before, and it just happened pretty organically. I wrote pretty much the first two episodes was kind of like one big episode, and then we ended up
Mhm.
splitting it into two, and um, Gabe wasn't in the first episode. I've told this, but when I started writing the rest of the season and he came in as a love interest, I went back to the first episode and just like added him asking for a sponge because I didn't know what to do with him. I'm like, do you have any sponges? That's how it came up. So yeah, that's and then we met Adam and Jake and Will and Stephen quite early on. Um, and everyone hit it off, and we were doing Zooms like this, and
Yeah.
it just felt right, and it just felt like it was the right time. But I do remember I've told this to Adam Mountain before. When I saw him, I was like, "Oh my God, he's really good! Like, I really want this guy, and I hope he does it." And like, I kept thinking he was going to say no, and I'm sure there were many times he wanted to pull out, but like, I really wanted Adam as Josh. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely you chose right because he made a good Josh.
yeah.
Yeah.
A good because we had this joke because we worked on a couple of projects um, where we had an actor called Josh, or we'd have a cat, and we worked with Joshua Orpin, which is him as Superboy and Titans and stuff, and he's going to be in
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
last. And we made this joke like everyone who's called Josh is hot. That was our long-running joke. So that's why we named him Josh.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll have to go change my name.
Yeah.
You're gonna change it to Josh now?
I guess so. I guess if that's what it takes, I'll have to, go down to the courts, get it changed.
Get the documents.
Yeah, get the documents signed. Exactly.
And Adam and Jake, like, how did you both find out about the show and get cast as the leads of season 1?
Adam, you go.
I was it was, what's it called? Star Now. Wow, it was so long ago now. Like it's you just got to take myself back to remember it. It was through Star Now. Lee just reached out to me and said, "Hey, I think you'd be a really good fit for this character. I want you to give it a go auditioning at it." And again, over Zoom because it was the middle of lockdown. So we had, I remember I had my laptop set up on top of my bed in my bedroom when I was still living with my parents, and I had it propped up there. And I was trying my best to do the audition, and he got me in with Adam as well, the main character. And I don't know, personally, I feel like me and Adam just really hit it off quite a bit. And I'm sure Lee could see that in the moment, but I always have this specific memory of when Lee and I were talking about it, and he just used to tell me, like, you were not what I wanted to cast as Josh. Like, when I started writing the show, I had a completely different idea, like look and idea for what Josh was. But when you did it, you just came to life. Like, you seemed like Josh and you came to life. So that's a nice little thing that I always remember.
Wow, that's awesome.
But I kind of remember that story, but now I don't remember what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
I do remember Clay was so different. Like, Clay was quite more of a jock, and like he was like blonde, and he was really tall and buff, and so when I met Steven, it was like the opposite. But then I was like, no, this works too. And then Adam obviously had it, his own style and vibe.
Yeah.
But you just know when you meet someone, you're like, okay, this is going to work. But I feel like with Jake, we kind of worked together developing, because he was such a new addition to the script. We had to work on him together. So yeah.
Yeah, I think originally I was being asked to maybe do Theo or someone else.
Oh, really?
It definitely wasn't. I don't think it was Gabe at the start, because I think Lee reached out pretty early on, and at some point it actually, like, it was a new character kind of being added, which was Gabe. And then that's where, like, we were kind of, I was kind of given some freedom to develop the character as well, and to kind of work with Lee to develop a character. And yeah, that's how Gabe kind of came along. And yeah, same as what Adam said, Will, I feel like Will can get along with anyone. Like, Will is just like the most loving, caring, beautiful person. So just clicked with Will straight away. And and then when I met the rest of the cast, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And yeah, I remember like having a conversation with Lee pretty early on about the show, and being a queer person, and feeling like there is, I guess, a level of media missing in that, from that degree. And when Lee explained the show and like the approach, I was like, yeah, this is like, I'd watch this. So other people will too. Like, other people will enjoy it. So yeah, it was good signs early on.
Oh yeah.
And can I just add one thing? Yeah. The elephant in the room is we've got the boyfriends tonight on your show.
I know, exactly. Yeah. This is great.
Today. No Will talking behind his back.
Well, season 6 we actually get together, so this is just a full circle moment.
Don't say season 6, because it's season 4, and if you say 6, people are going to be texting me going, "Where's 6?" And I'll be like, "There's no
Where's 6?" Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Actually, I will not lie. I'm okay. This is the truth. About 80% of my fan messages on Instagram is about if Josh and Adam are getting back together. Like, swear,
Oh,
like it's always like so. Or they'll say it like this. I this is how I think season 4 is going to end. Like, Josh and Adam are getting back together, and they're going to do this and this and this. Or I just get so much fan mail about Josh. So, but we did bring him back for season 4, and he gets some really good screen time. So,
there
yeah.
you go. There you go. And
Mm.
we have to watch season 4 to see if Josh is the one who makes the marriage not work or if he just steps aside. So I don't know. We'll see. And Adam, like when we first see Josh, like you did amazing with Josh because like Lee said, like you were in one season and what the first 2 episodes of season 2 and people are still talking about Josh, talking about you and when we first see Josh, he's the best friend of Clay, and then him and Adam start falling for each other with Texas and everything, and he wanted Adam to come out to his brother and mother and stuff, and then when Adam did, then Josh kind of takes a step back because he don't like how do you feel about that about like how he wanted like Adam to be free and like tell everyone he's gay and then Josh kind of like says I don't know if I'm feeling it like I don't want a lot of people to know.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was going into all of that and doing the scenes at the start, like in my head, obviously I had my own spin to what I wanted Josh to be as a character, but
Mhm.
he was always a bit of a bad boy,
Yeah,
like he was a bit of a dick for better words. So during that whole process of I kind of felt like I was playing with Adam as Josh, you know what I mean? Like I was getting what I wanted out of the situation. And when it got a bit too real, I disappeared because I didn't want to ruin things in my life. From
hmm,
Josh's perspective, of course, saying it
well
out
yeah,
loud,
yeah,
it's not the nicest thing. But I think in a way, Josh kind of wanted to push Adam to really just be himself and be comfortable with himself. And in turn, he did do that. He just didn't go the right way about doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was, yeah, because I think it was more like when I was writing it, I was like, okay, he wants Adam to be open, but he's not saying I'm ready. He's saying
Exactly,
you should be ready because the thing
exactly.
is, I think Josh was always comfortable within his sexuality. He was the one who came on to Adam. He knew exactly what he wanted, but that doesn't mean he wants to advertise to the world, hey everyone, this is who I am yet. So my yeah, so it was a bit of a, you know, yeah, Adam got kind of got kind of like done over a little bit, but yeah.
And like, you know, the whole I'm out now so we can be together. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's scary to Josh. He's like, it's like you've taken what I've said and run with it, is how Josh
Right.
said.
And plus he wasn't like he didn't like the fact that they were like sneaking around behind the brother's back and then because that was like his buddy.
Exactly right. It made the whole situation a bit weird and on the nose and yeah.
And Lee and Adam, like I wanted to ask this, like when we see like the first couple the episodes of the show, it's basically like Adam, like Josh and Adam kiss and Adam had sex for the first time, and it's with Josh. And how was it like shooting those scenes with with Will, like the kissing scenes, the sex scenes, and also for Lee, like how was it like shooting it?
Who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, uh, for me, me and Will and I did a lot of work beforehand of just him and I to get to a pace of comfortability. Um, because obviously, like doing it in your house with just you and your partner is one thing, and then having to do it on the couch with a film crew and the other actors that are there for later in the day, and then doing it again and again and again. Of course, it's a completely different experience. So
Mhm.
me and Will and I are just trying to build the comfortability with ourselves to make that feel like it was the normality for our characters, of course. Um, Even though it wasn't within the sense of the scene, but that's how I kind of dealt with like having to do that a bunch of times in front of a bunch of people that I've only just met for the first time because it's very early into the season. And of course, Lee was there to guide us through. And for those certain scenes that were a bit more intimate and a bit more heavy, then it was obviously a bit more of a closed set, and we didn't have people watching that didn't need to be watching. It was
Oh, okay.
door in the room, that sort of stuff, just basic cameras. But Lee was really there to help us get through it in a way that was the most comfortable to us by giving us the time to build that connection with each other beforehand, not just jump straight
Yeah.
into it red hot.
Yeah, like I don't know if we've ever spoken about this on camera before, but when we rehearsed the kiss, Will had never kissed anyone in his life before.
Wait,
And
really?
yeah, it was his first ever human person kiss. And so
Oh my God!
Take that one
he
Wow.
was
off.
shaking afterwards. He was like, "Oh my God, I kissed a person." And he did he did tell me after the fact, like I think after season one, he's like, like obviously he's not gay. Will's not
Well,
gay,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he's like, I didn't hate it, but it's like, you know, it's I understand, and I think it helped him to kind of like go, okay, this is what happens when you kiss a person, and and I don't know, but it was really, I was like nervous for him, and then I was like, oh my God, how's he gonna cope? And they were fine, and when they had to do their biggest kissing scene was on the couch on episode one.
Hmm.
And we
Hmm.
used the first take, even though they had to do it like 5 times. We ended up just using and I think because Will was like, I'm going to get this done right the first time, and don't have to do it again. And he did, but then you kind of think, oh, well, we better make sure we get a couple more takes. But yeah, it was a bit harder on him, but they were so professional about it and got through it,
Oh yeah.
and we just it yeah I mean we were always short for time, so we were always just like moving on. Okay, next scene. Um, and I actually wanted to add like something before Adam and the whole coming out with Clay and all that, and Adam and Josh. They had a they actually rehearsed, and I wrote this whole football scene where they're at Clay and Adam's football match, and then it kind of comes out while they're playing the game or after the game that this Adam Josh no sorry Clay finds out Josh had slept with his brother, and then they're having this big punch on, and then like all the families have like run over to be like, "What's going on?" And Adam runs over, and all you can hear is Clay's like, "You fucked my brother, you fucked my," and then Will just like, "Whoop, I'm out of here," and turns around and leaves. And we couldn't shoot it because we got shut down and in lockdown, and we couldn't we had crowds ready to come, and it was such a shame because it's such a funny scene, but we have the rehearsal of Stephen and Adam like punching on, and I was going to
Oh
release
my
it
God.
today, so I
I
can
do
either give it
remember
to
that.
you or I can release it on Instagram. But I've got a rehearsal, and the rehearsal's so funny, and I was like, you can hear me laughing because we're in the middle of the city, and they were so real. It looked such like a real punch on it. I just started giggling, thinking, people are going to think this is a real fight, and
I
we're going to
swear
get in
we
trouble.
had people looking around, like people turning their heads at me and Steve just in the like the botanical. No, it wasn't. It was like near the big buildings in the city, and we're just wrestling with each other on the ground and going, "You fucked my brother!"
Yeah.
Down the blue
So,
with Lee with his iPhone filming it as well.
yeah, it was real.
And Jake, like Gabe is this like cute, shy, quiet guy. He doesn't like he isn't aware of a lot of things going on, and he definitely wants to like talk to Adam, but he's shy. Like you could definitely see he has a crush on Adam, but he doesn't know how to flirt or like talk to Adam. So this is like a two-part question. Like how did you make Gabe like so innocent and like cute and shy, and and also like why do you think Gabe was very shy to put the moves on Adam?
Yeah, good questions. Oh, look, I think for me, when we were kind of creating the character, I really wanted to implement part of myself that I think has existed throughout my entire life, which is this, shy and awkward person. I'm not like that anymore, but I really wanted to bring that to life, that part of my life, and implement that into the character. I think as well, like Gabe is, compared to Josh, these two love interests, they're really polar opposites, and I think that was a really important part as well. Was Gabe was not confident, in who he was. He was confident with his sexuality, and I think that was always apparent. He never really spoke about coming out or being queer. He just was, and I think that was really important. But he's awkward and he's shy. And yeah, it was really just about bringing out that innocence and I guess a genuineness that I felt like that character needed. Why he was shy talking to Adam, not sure. I guess for him, it was I guess a care for Adam as a character, and with that, I think for him came a lot of anxiety and nervousness, and yeah, it's a hard thing for Gabe to approach someone that he really genuinely likes. So thankfully he overcame it, and yeah.
I want to add, I remember we were at the end of season one, and I think we'd already watched, like an edit. I can't even remember. Jake came up to me and said, Lee, I think that, for the fans, like Adam and Gabe need to end up together by the end of this series finishing. Like they have to be the couple. And I was like, yeah. All right. But then when he told me that, I was like, okay, you're telling me you want to stay in the show. Yeah. I'm like, great. And then there was a point in season 2 where he was like, oh, look, I'm not even sure I really want to act anymore. So I was like, all right, like I'll start. That's why we started to write him out in season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, come on, let's do this. And by 3, I was like, we've got to do this wedding. Like, yeah. So let's finish it off. So yeah, it's good.
And like in season 3, like the innocence of Gabe like wasn't there when he made that play making Adam a slut.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's for me that's something I always had in my mind is as the seasons went on, I wanted Gabe to like come into his own, and like I wanted to see the progression, because you've got 20-minute episodes, that are like 6 episodes a season, so you don't have a lot of time as a character to show progression. And I think, like for me, going into any show, progression of a character is like the most important thing that I enjoy seeing. And so like Lee and I didn't even really talk about progression really. It was more just something that it was really a choice in terms of confidence that I wanted to implement throughout each season, to see that, you know, come to life in Gabe, because I didn't want him to be, you know, I guess, the shy, awkward person throughout the whole show. I wanted him to come into his own and have a sense of confidence by the end.
Nice.
And I'll just add that we originally Gabe was only in one episode of season 3, and then I found out that we're not going to do season 4 and 5, that we were just going to do season 4. Thanks, Will. And then so I was just like, okay, how am I going to do this? And so the proposal was meant to be in season 4, and the wedding was meant to be in season 5. So I asked Jake to come back to do some pickups, and we shot the proposal, and we kind of brought him into that last episode. We also had to have them come back together, so we had to have that kind of makeup episode. So we slotted that into, I think, episode 5 or 6, and then we kind of peppered them into the last episode, and we did the proposal. Yeah, so we were kind of trying to fast track that beat so that we could move into the last season. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. And Adam and Jake, like, I love like the both versions of Adam doing the photo shoots, and like Adam does the one with you know, with the both guys, and each one is different, and it felt like a real photo shoot. And you guys, the both of you guys, like, actually did it like real models. Like, did you have any modeling experience in the past?
You go first, Jake.
No, not at all. You know, I'm studying psychology. I'm a book person. I'm not a model person. I'm the least photogenic person ever. Like, I hate taking photos. I prefer to be on the other end of any photo. So yeah, no, I did not. I think that's more a testament to the editing, really, and how Lee kind of put it together in the end. Because nah. Oh, and also, in that scene, I had a broken finger, and so you'll see, like, if you go back and watch it, my hand is hidden in that, like, part of the in that part of the story constantly.
Oh.
Yeah. He kept it on the bed, like behind him, so you couldn't. Yeah.
I never noticed.
So I was more worried.
Okay.
I was more worried about my finger kind of being shown on screen. So I had but no, not photogenic, not a model.
But I will say that for Adam's photo shoot, Will actually did take photos, and you see the photos that he took, like, that flashes up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
That's
yeah,
right.
Adam,
Like, it was a photo shoot for Will and I during that time. Like, I think Lee just said, take some photos, go, and he just kind of stood there, or like they ran around with the cameras as Will and I were just running around the garden being idiots. Like, it was so real. We were taking photos, and all the shots you see where Will shows me the photos, we were actually looking at laughing at the photos of me being stupid and pulling faces. So that's why it comes across as so real, because it was actually. And I don't even know where those photos are, but some of them were quite good. Some of them were quite good.
I've got them.
Oh, you've got them?
I've got them all.
And to the first part of the question, no, I'm not. I haven't done any professional modeling or anything like that. Of course, I've done a little bit here and there, just with like friend shoots for some brands and stuff like that. But nothing professional or anything like that. But I think tying it in, like, part of the reason why it felt so real and worked so well is because it was a photo shoot, as I just said. Like everything that we were doing was really taking photos, we're really having fun. And that's one of the best parts about working with Will. And throughout the entire time I've worked with Will on this show, everything is just real
Yeah.
because you do have this special connection with Will that he just brings out the real emotion with you. Like you don't even have to try too hard because just the minute that you talk to him and you look in his eyes, like it's just you're there with him and you're present. That's what made it so real in my head.
Nice. I mean, it did look like you were having fun. Like you were really getting into it, like the different poses and the smile and everything. So it did look like you were having fun with that.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
yeah, definitely was.
when I went to cast Adam Mountain, um, Adam Mountain Smith, we he had modeling shots and he didn't have any acting videos and but it was I remember he was like smoking in one of the modeling shots. And yeah, it was for a t-shirt or something, and for his friend, and he had a skateboard, and I was like, God, this guy's so cool. Like he's up in my show. He's just the coolest. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He's got a skateboard, and I was like, okay. So I was always scared. I remember being always scared around Adam because I was like, this guy's just too cool, you know. But yeah. They were good times. And I think the photo shoot with Jake and Will in the room where they had to do the same sex photo shoot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I took those photos like off the camera
Oh,
that were there. And I was like, okay, well, I'm like, can we pause filming? I'm just going to get the photos because I knew I had to blow them up and put them around the exhibition. So I just quickly snapped, a couple. But I think someone had to help me make sure the settings were right. But then, I was like, click, 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 got them done. So that was fun. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
mean, Lee, like it definitely feels like you know how to do like art and photos and stuff. Like, cause like you, I mean, Adam is basically like the guy who's snapping pictures and everything. So you must have like knowledge of that.
well, I'm not a photographer, but I mean, I have done a lot of photography, and we've just for fun or for friends. And I also did the Oliver magazine cover for season 2, the ending,
Yeah.
and so I snapped that one. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Instagram that where me and Will be on set, and he's laying on you've probably seen he's laying on the bed with his new long hair, and I'm just like, Will, while we're here, let me just get some photos quickly. And I just literally just my iPhone, and then some of them become like really iconic, and I'm just like, oh God, like I think later, go, thank God I thought to grab my phone out because, um, we don't have a on-set photographer, which is usually what people have, and we didn't have
Mhm.
budget for anything like that. So it was really just me. I did honestly. Anytime you saw a BTS photo behind the scenes, it was me
Oh,
while
okay, okay.
while I'm directing. Because that was the only person who thought to
Just
do
Lee,
it.
always running around with his iPhone. Like you turn around, look for the shirt. Lee's there taking a photo.
Well, because I was like,
Oh,
usually there was a person doing that, but we didn't have the money. We didn't like season 1 was such a low budget. Even 2 was even lower than season 1.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it was 10 grand like less. And we just, because we went into season 2 before the sale of season 1. And I, thought, I know this is going to do well, but I knew that the second season would help with the first season sale. So I kind of went straight into it. Yeah, but there was just less money in season 2, so it was a real struggle. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but we got there.
And and Jake, like I wanted to see how like you felt about like when in season 3, when Gabe first sees Adam and invites him to the play, and then the whole experience with the play, which then leads to a fight with Gabe and Adam, but then leads to them reconciling. And how do you feel about like all that stuff that happened between Gabe and Adam in season 3?
Yeah, I always thought this was pretty like I was like, this is funny because I think Gabe making the play about what was happening between them. I was like, oh, Gabe, you sly dog, like that's I think Adam in that moment had every right to be upset. But Gabe being an artist to defend himself, I think any artist, you ask anyone, they always pull from their life to create their art. So I think it's fair enough in some sense. But no, I really, I thought that this was the moment where another moment where Gabe was maybe able to stand up for himself, where he was able to, I guess stand up for his art. But I am glad that it ended in reconciliation, and in the way that it did as well. I think it was quite an interesting reconciliation moment, particularly when it came with Theo and what he was doing. But yeah, I thought those moments were really important in season 3 because it kind of was the build up to what was going to be happening in season 4.
Oh, okay.
Every time I watch season 3, because I don't know, I know Adam, you haven't seen 3 yet, but it's Gabe does a play, and he basically makes fun of Marco and Adam at the Bubbles car wash, being like, just talking about how many guys they've had sex with and being sluts, right? And it's so funny. It's one of the probably funny. And the guys were improvising, and the actors, I sent them season 1. I said, just do a very over the top version of these characters. And every time I watch season 3, I'm like, why is Gabe so, even though I wrote it, I'm always like, why is Gabe so oblivious why Adam is upset? Like, you obviously were making him out to be the horniest guy on the earth when he wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were talking about boys and this and that, but it's such an exaggeration. Actually, I remember when I went to write that scene, I actually went back to the original draft and I used some of the original dialogue because it was when I had to split it into 2 episodes, I kind of do rewrites and stuff. And I was like, so I kind of went to the first, I just tried to find the oldest draft of the Bubbles car wash. And this is even before Gabe's character went in for the sponge.
Oh.
And that's the dialogue they're saying in the play. So, yeah, anyway, but this little trivia shit.
Yeah.
I know it's fun to notice stuff, especially if you're a fan of the show.
Yeah. Look, I always claim I was the first fan because I got to see it first, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so fun!" And I was only editing every episode because I wanted to see what happens next, and I was so invested in the characters, and I think, look, as much as Adam gets a lot of fan mail, I always think like. The way I see it is like the first guy you hook up with or fall in love with or whatever it is, you don't end up marrying that guy. Like that's just the first experience. And I was like, I always want to tell the fans like that's not real. That doesn't happen. But yeah. And I want to ask Adam, what was it like? Because you were only on set for 1 day for season 2, and you weren't in 3. What was it like after so many years coming back on 4 and spending another day with us?
It was what's the word I'm looking for here? It felt like I'd never left, honestly. Coming back and of course being with Will, and just still having that instant connection again. Because as I said before, like just when you act with Will, he just makes you feel so safe and like comfortable. And obviously seeing Lee and just seeing everyone again, like it was like a little reunion. It was great, and it just kept bringing me back to literally being in Lee's house where he's sitting right now in that kitchen, doing the reads, doing everything, planning it out, making sandwiches for our lunch on set. Like,
Oh, nice.
it just took me back, and it was a real special experience, I think, because it'd been quite a few years since I'd not only seen a lot of these people, but just had to touch back into Josh again. And to be honest, jumping on set the first, I was a bit nervous because I was like, oh, I haven't actually been Josh for a while. This is going to be a bit interesting. I hope I can still do him justice. But I think I found him again, because obviously it's got so much of me, which is something that Lee really, really, I noticed from the first day on set with every character in the show. Lee really let you bring what you wanted to the character. It was never, this is what I want from Josh. This is how Josh acts. It's up to you. You bring what you want to Josh, which I think is the reason why so many characters in this show are stand out, and you can connect so much to certain characters because it is the truth.
You still have like the Josh hair too. Like,
Still got the Josh hair. Yeah, it's never going anywhere.
I just wanted to say, like, the day he came back for season 4, he was running late, and I was very nervous because I'm like, oh my God, if he doesn't come to set, I don't know what I'm going to do in this scene. But he was about 40 minutes late, and but then I just tried to like stay calm, and I was like, I'm going to shoot one other. So we just started filming, and in the back of my mind, I'm just like, he'll get here just fine. He'll get here. And then, because I would think I was so nervous, I don't know if you remember this, Adam, but as soon as he got on set, like, I pretty much like nearly wrapped the scene I was filming, and I went, okay, cool, Adam, you're going to do this scene like right now. And I literally just threw him into a scene, which was a massive, like, if you watch the episode, it's his biggest scene. And he was only on set for like 10 minutes. I was like, okay, Adam, put this shirt on. We're going to go and shoot this scene. And I think
my God,
there was just like my pent up nervousness, because I knew from all the fan mail, like, how much they wanted Josh there and how much it would have meant to them to have him in a scene. So I didn't waste any time. I was just like, Adam, and I could see he was nervous. You were nervous, like,
yeah, no, I was so scared to be back on set and doing Josh again. I was like, well, as I said, I was like, I don't know if I can bring him back out. It's been so long, because how many years was it? It was like since season 2.
2 years or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And also, like, he was nervous, but then I think like what we did is it was a one-on-one scene. Like, I wrote it where Adam and Josh get to go and have a quiet moment somewhere. And so I kind of, we're in a bar setting, and I kind of shushed I was like, everyone get out of the space. And so there wasn't many people watching, which is great. Because when he got there was like, we had extras. We had like the half, Joel, the half brother. We had everyone there, and all these people Adam had never even worked with before. And there was Marco and all these people, and I was like, and so I kind of like got everyone out the room and just left Will and Adam. And like Adam was just saying, I know it's confusing, Adam and Adam, but like, the scene they had to do, and how Adam Mountain was just describing the chemistry and all that between him and Will, like, it was literally like, I had to edit that scene, and it was so good. I was like, I could have edited 4 different good versions of the same, like, from different takes, because when I went to edit it, I went, oh my God, every moment is good. Like, how am I going to choose which line they're going to say?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And then I put it together, and I thought, oh my God, this has not dropped a beat since season 1. It's a classic Adam what is it? Adam and Josh scene. It is
Oh, okay.
classic. I'm so proud of it. I'm like, yeah, very
Yeah,
proud.
it just that, as I say, that's the thing with Will. Like it went, and we were straight back there, like we're in season one, doing the
Wow.
rehearsals again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we shot with two cameras so that if they improved or anything, we could pick it up, and it was really good. No, it was
so it did feel like, as you were saying, Lee, when I rocked up, it felt like I just rocked up to a bar because that's how packed it was. But it felt like a real bar because I didn't know anyone on, like you said, I didn't know anyone on set either because obviously the cast had grown so much since season two that I walked in, I was like, am I in the right place? Like, or have I actually just walked into a bar?
yeah, it was good.
And Adam and Jake, like, is there a certain moment of Josh and Adam and Gabe and Adam that you both feel that meant the most to both Josh and Gabe?
100%. For me, I reckon it's the fight in the first season that we have. And the reason for that is partly on, like, of course, my side as well. So I remember when we were rehearsing that one, I think we only rehearsed it like 3 times or something like that. We didn't do too many rehearsals because when we did it, we had it. You know what I mean? Like I remember Lee filming it on his iPhone again in the backyard, and for Josh as well, like that was just so like a punch in the face, you know. And Will obviously being there again. Props to Will. I mean, we're talking so much about how good of an actor he is, and he's not even here. But filming that scene was just so incredible. I can't remember which shot you used, Lee. I feel like it was like the first take or something like that because it was. I just remember doing it, just being very like wow when we filmed it. You know, that stuck out
Actually,
in my mind.
it wasn't the first take because I remember we did the first take and then because what happened, we were setting up the lights and they went in the bedroom, which was like in this on set, which was Adam's bedroom. And
Hmm.
I could hear them through the door, like them kind of having the argument and rehearsing the scene. And then they came out and we went to shoot the first take and it was nothing like I heard through the door. I was like, God, what? Because when I was hearing it through the door, I was like, wow, that sounds real. Like I thought they were having a real argument. And then, and so they went to do the scene and there wasn't that volume. And I said, guys, I just heard you through the door. I was like, you're not even as loud on set as you were before. I'm like, give me what you just did. So I made them do it again.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I guess following from that for me, I'm not sure if I can talk about season four, but if I was to say one, it would be a season four moment. But from 1 to 3, it would have to be the last scene of season one. Just I guess for the Christmas scene. I don't know, cinematography wise, absolutely loved watching it, like the zoom out and the Christmas lights, and but really, what that scene was for me was it was Gabe saying, you know, like I'd be happy and proud to advertise our relationship, you know, like, and it's kind of speaks volumes to, I guess, the what happened between Josh and Adam as well, like I guess how they ended. So for Adam's character, no, well, for Will's character, so Adam, the full circle moment for him to have someone that is, you know, happy and proud to advertise a relationship and to, yeah.
Can you give me a hint? Like, I can tell you if the season 4 is a spoiler. Is it what?
Oh.
Who was on set? Who was on set?
Everyone.
It's that big day, yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. So there's a big moment in season 4. It's probably not much of a spoiler, but look, Will just brought so much emotion, and you again, like, you just couldn't help but to be in the moment with him, and it was amazing. Like, yeah, it was. I was actually like I was getting like teary myself just by what he was
Oh,
doing.
wow.
So yeah, it was
He's talking about the wedding.
yeah,
I was assuming that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, if it's from season 1 to 3, from what people have actually seen, it would be the last scene of season 1.
I just edited the wedding vow stuff the other week, and what you're saying, Jake, you could see it on your face. Like you were like taking it in, and you could feel that you were feeling like. So
Wow.
it's written on your face that you were in that
Oh,
moment.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a long day, and we did that at the end, and we were just like, oh my God. So yeah, it was really